Hello everyone and welcome back to a best of 5 series of professional StarCraft 2. Today it's time for a Terran versus Zerg, where in game number 1 we find ourselves on 2000 atmospheres. Now, as you may have already noticed, those SCVs, they are traveling back and forth a little bit quicker than they normally do between the command center and the mineral patches right there. This particular series was recently played around Christmas time in the ×2 StarCraft 2 mod, meaning that these games... I mean, you can look at the clock timer right there above the mini-map. What are we doing? I mean... We're going for a Proxy Hatchery and it's like... Okay, anyway. So spawning here in the top right-hand corner, playing with the blue Terran SCVs, we have Team Liquid's Clem and his opponent. I mean, do I really need to introduce him? He's already gone for the Proxy Hatchery. There's even a drone right now at the 12 o'clock position as well. Playing here with the red Zerg drones, we have Mr. Bly. Alright, so this game, right from the get-go, is off with a bang. I feel like StarCraft 2's pace is probably a little bit too quick already, just in like a normal game of StarCraft 2. Obviously, in a ×2 mod, we're doubling down on it as well. Not entirely sure if it's the best idea, but I am very curious to find out exactly what ended up going down between these two. Roach Warren is coming up. Clem not actually maneuvering around right there with the SCV. Normally, these top-level players are very good at just continuously being active with everything. But obviously, the entire pacing of the game is completely different. Look at that Overlord. It's actually so fast. Anyways, I was thinking about it right on the loading screen. Like, what race would benefit this the most? And I guess Zerg normally already has that mobility upper hand. So, oh my god, the little roach legs! Do the Ravager legs go crazy as well? Can you walk them, please? There's a Cyclone trying to kill stuff. Oh! No way. They're so stupid. Yeah, that animation definitely wasn't meant to be significantly quicker. Anyway, so just to clarify, the players are playing this at, like, this pace as well, right? You can see the real time right there above the minimap on the actual clock. But obviously, everything is completely messed up for them as well. I'm actually impressed that they're still capable of keeping their money relatively low. It'd be very tempting to just queue up stuff here all the time, but Clem actually seems to be relatively comfortable. Bly actually right now as well. He's got a large amount of units, but is he really going to be able to get into that main base of the Terran? Because, I mean, there's 2 bunkers here. There's a couple of siege tanks. I don't think you're going to be able to break through this. Obviously, you're going to need high ground vision anyway, right? In order to, like, shoot any of those corrosive biles. And I've got a feeling by the time that, like, the Ravager biles land, I guess those will go twice as fast as well, right? Yeah, they should. Anyways, by the time that those land, I can imagine that everything is already destroyed. Anyways, if I understand correctly, this is from a tournament that Harstem organized, and I think the prize pool was sponsored by one of his viewers or something along those lines. I checked with Harstem if he was cool with me casting this particular series. He's like, yeah, go for it. This sounds like a lot of fun, but it also sounds like a bit of a disaster. Either way, here we go. Corrosive Biles will land on one of the siege tanks. Ravagers on their derpy little legs are trying to go back towards the 12 o'clock position. I guess it's relatively doable to land Corrosive Biles here on, for example, the Banshees. Yeah, just because you need to be on top of everything. At the very least, he's still floating to his death right there, to the surface of 2K Atmos at a normal pace there, the Ravager. At the very least, it seemed like it. Anyways, so far, this is going very well, of course, for Mr. Clem here. Banshee over here, okay, getting a couple of kills in before Bly even noticed that anything was going on. It looks like he is going to try and give up on that position. He did go for the Natural Expo here as well. Clem is going to transition towards Bio. He does have a large amount of siege tanks already, though. How are you ever going to do anything here? There's a lot of drones being killed. It looks to me like Bly just wants to go for one big assault and go for one more all-in. But honestly, I'm looking at this. There's 4 siege tanks. There's a good amount of Marines. There's a couple of structures right here as well, preventing a lot of these... Oh, the Ravagers already died. Okay. Game number 1 goes in favor of the Frenchman. So, I mentioned to Bly the other day that whenever I cast any of his games on the YouTube channel and I feature him in any of the matches, generally speaking, at the very least, viewer-wise, the games tend to do very, very well because there's a lot of people, at the very least, that's what I'm assuming, there's a lot of people that are big fans of the way that he approaches the game, myself included as well. And I mentioned this because I would be more than happy to, like, buy any replays off of him. Maybe there's some sick ladder games that he recently played that he thinks are worth casting, but that may have not, you know, been covered by anyone. Anyways, rather than just sending me 1 or 2 replays, Bly decided to send me his entire replays folder. So I've got a lot of recent Bly games that I can go ahead and cast, and these games right here were included. Now, I loaded up the very first replay, and I was ready to sit down and cast this, and I realized, wait a second, somehow everything is weird. So I had to check in and figure out exactly what was going on here, and then I found out about this ×2 speed tournament. Pretty sick, right? Pretty fun. Anyways, so we are on Glittering Ashes here. What are we gonna do here, Mr. Clem? Clem actually scouting right there with an SCV. He didn't see the Natural Expo, so I guess he's making the assumption that once again there's a Proxy Hatchery. Bly playing to his image here, just... Is Clem gonna send the SCV all the way across again? Yeah, he's just gonna check the 3rd base here eventually. So now all of a sudden Bly definitely has a nice upper hand here. That expansion from the Terran player is relatively late. Oh my god, look at that. Look at the reactor building. Jeez. Alright. I feel like the animations are much quicker than ×2. Am I crazy? It feels to me like some of the animations are much faster than like 200%. Maybe I'm crazy though. I'm not exactly sure. Look at the little Zerglings. What's going on with you guys? I guess all 10 of their legs are... I don't know how many legs they have. Do they have 6 legs? I don't know how many they have. Anyways, I guess all of their legs are moving around much quicker as well, and the animation is just a little bit derpy. It's kind of got something cute, though. Yeah, it's going to be impossible to micro-Hellions, right? I don't think you can really micro-Hellions against Zerglings very effectively. Yeah, no. Not really, anyways. Alright, so what do we have? We've got ourselves a fusion core right here from Clem. Clem going for a battlecruiser opener. He's already got a tech lab over here. He's got a lot of gas, but no minerals just yet. Obviously, these things are 400 minerals each, so it's going to be quite difficult to actually afford one of those. Okay, a couple of Hellions here, though, are going to roast a few of the drones. That's nice. Yeah, there's the battlecruiser coming up. At the same time, though, Bly has already planted down his own spire. Judging by the fact that he's already taken 4 gases, though, I think this is for Mutalisks. So Mutas versus battlecruisers is... not something we really see in the 2022 meta. At least so far, anyways. Well, I guess these games were played around Christmas time. So I guess this is technically still the 2021 meta. Anyways, there's the Yamato cannon upgrade. I guess Clem here is getting ready to make a whole lot of kettle bruisers. Oh god, the first one is already out, of course. Normally these things take about 2.5 years to produce. But yeah, he just used the tactical jump to go straight across. Nice transfusion right there by the Ukrainian Zerg. Yeah, battlecruisers don't mess around, though. They're very strong. Engineering bay is going to finish up soon as well. That's going to allow Clem to actually build a couple of missile turrets. There's the Hellions going across once more, too. I kind of like it. Stutter Step Micro here with the Mutas is also a little bit tricky, of course. Okay, so mass Muta versus mass battlecruiser. Is that what we're doing here? Because there is a second starport with a tech lab on it. I don't even know how many bases you need to be able to, like, produce out of 2 starports at once. I was talking about this the other day on stream, that I actually think it's kind of disappointing that we don't see battlecruisers very often anymore. At the pro level anyways, it's very uncommon, but it seems to me like our Terran player wants to double down. Did he just Yamato gun his own supply depot? Am I crazy? Anyways, people mentioned, though, that apparently, especially on the ladder below, like, I want to say, like, Platinum League or so, apparently it happens a lot that people literally just mass battlecruisers all day, every day. And I didn't even know that that was the thing. Apparently there's a lot of, yeah, games on the lower end of the ladder where, I guess in Bronze League, right, it makes sense, because battlecruisers are one of those units where you just kind of, like, you send them in and then they will likely kill stuff, right? They require a lot of actions per minute to be able to deal with them effectively. Anyways, I can imagine they are more effective the lower you go. Anyways, pro level, we don't see them a whole lot. How many SCVs have gone down? Okay. So, 16 SCVs were just killed. 13 drones were also killed by Clem. And I'm a little bit concerned here that Clem at some point is just gonna, like, teleport his cattle bruisers towards the other side of the map. And at that point... Oh my god, this is actually a lot of worker kills, though. At that point, it's gonna be hard for Blight to stop him. I think he needs to go. There's, like, nothing available here for the Zerg player to really... But I guess as soon as you teleport the battlecruisers across the map, you'll probably end up losing everything at home. I guess Mutas are indirectly more effective against missile turrets. Yeah, there we go, okay. So there go the battlecruiser straight into the main base of the Zerg player. Spire already picked off. There are still 3 Corruptors coming up. Are there enough Mutas, though, to actually deal with all of this? They do have their +1 flyer upgrades. Clem did not bother upgrading any of the battlecruisers, which really is a shame. I mean, they have the Yamato cannon upgrade, but that's really about it. I think with 1 armor upgrade, or 1 attack upgrade even, right? They're going to be significantly more effective. Every single one of these little bullets would deal 1 more damage. Lara's going to go down, though, but a second Spire did already start up over at the 3rd base. Okay. Corruptors here joined the Mutas as well, and they're going to try and see if they can finish the job. Both players at 69 supply right now, so that's pretty nice. But I think I like this position for the Zerg player a little bit more. I mean, there's not really that much economy here available right now for the Terran. He does have a couple of pesky Widow Mines in weird positions. I don't actually know how it works out with the Widow Mines, because they need to be... Okay, they do fire twice as quickly as well. They need to be locked on for a little while, and if a unit runs out of range, obviously... yeah, everything is just ×2 speed. Anyways, when they go out of range, it becomes a little bit crazy. You know what? I would actually, like, looking at this, I would like to see some games at, like, half regular speed. Or maybe, like, at 0.75, right? Like, 75% regular speed. Imagine, like, that becomes a lot more like Warcraft 3, I suppose. Imagine the micro that players could pull off. Anyways, I guess if you watch a game of regular StarCraft 2 after watching this, everything is already gonna feel very slowed down. The Yamato cannon jumps, or sorry, the battlecruiser jumps rather, not as effective, and there it is. Bly wins game number 2. Breathe, Lowko, breathe. I just noticed I have a tendency to commentate twice as fast as well. It's like I'm continuously chrono boosting out my words. Probably not ideal, okay? I tend to start stumbling over my words when I talk too quickly. Plus, it makes it harder to follow, I guess, right? Anyways. There's just so many things to talk about, man. I just want to share everything with you guys. Are we gonna go for a normal hatchery on the low ground? Ugh. Lame. Building your normally timed hatchery at the normal location? Boring. Anyways, Berlingrad is gonna be map number 3. Clem is gonna get across the map and will probably be pretty happy about it. Everything's normal this time around, Clem. Look at that. No shenanigans, no craziness. This is what you expect to see. Although, not a whole lot of gas mining. Okay, we are gonna eventually mine some gas here. Reactor straight up for Clem as well, so I guess he's gonna pump out a couple of those Marines 2 at a time. Are we doing the thing? Clem, are we doing the thing? Can we do the thing? Clem, come on. I don't know. He's probably seen it, though. This should never work. Okay, yeah. Zerglings, okay, they realized that something wasn't quite right. Factory had already started up at home. I thought maybe he was gonna proxy a factory instead of the main base of the Zerg. Obviously not particularly efficient, but... I mean, if we're gonna do the thing, I suggest we go and do it. Anyways, it makes more sense, I guess, for Clem to just play a normal game. Still can't get over how derpy the little... I guess everything with legs is derpy. Look at that. The Marines are going crazy. Anyways, Roach Opener here once again from Bly. Clem, oh, we're gonna go into an armory, so I guess he wants to go for a Hellbat push. Now, last time I checked, Hellbats don't do particularly well against Roaches, especially with, like, unupgraded Marines as well, so this is a fantastic start right here for Bly. Yeah, he basically counters all of these units. God, they're so derp. Still selecting the low HP Roach right there to morph into a Ravager, because it will turn into a full HP Ravager as soon as it's done. A couple of units will be killed. Banshee will come out eventually. There are some Widow Mines here available right now. Okay, and they do get some pretty fantastic hits. Who needs Banshees to clean up Roach Openers? Just, you know, get perfect hits on your Widow Mines. Very nice. Alright. So there's more Roaches coming up. Third base, I don't think is gonna happen. Okay, Widow Mines over here actually getting a good bit of damage done as well, it seems. Banshee is gonna try and fly around a little bit. I don't know why it's over here. I feel like it should start harassing the Zerg player, but I guess there's a little much going on. One of the Widow Mines being as obnoxious as possible. There's still a couple of Widow Mines over here, but I guess they shot right here at the Overlords. Alright. Anyways, there's the Banshee. Banshee's here just trying to be as annoying as possible. What are we doing here, Mr. Bly? Are we gonna go for a Spire? Oh, we actually lost a lot of... Oh, we're gonna go into a Nidus network. Okay. He lost a lot of larvae there to one of the hits. Okay, we're gonna get an Overseer eventually, so those units will be gone. Already, though, would you look at that? Clem is anticipating a switch. I think Bly sees this as well, yeah. He knows that he's not gonna be able to pop down a Nidus Worm right over here. I mean, he can try, but it's not gonna happen. He'll probably still leave the Overlord over there. There's already another OV right over here as well. I guess you can use this. Yeah, exactly. To go to the front and then bring the Queens across. That's gonna be a good way of some anti-air, I suppose. Anyways, you can also reinforce Roaches and Ravagers with this. Alright, is there gonna be enough right here for Clem to hold on? There's the Queens. A little bit of creep spread over here at the front as well, which is obviously fantastic. Second Nidus Worm does go into the main base. Yeah, I think it will still be the Knight. Zerg was thinking about going straight into the main base as well. A couple of corrosive piles over there. Okay, actually, Siege Tank's still alive. Oh my god. Oh god, these piles are all missed! Wow, dude. Okay, well, those were hits. That's the second time in this series. How did he, like, miss the biles on Siege Tanks, like, 4 times? But somehow the Banshees did die to corrosives. Kind of special. Anyways, I don't think that this is gonna achieve much either. You could try. Getting more done than I thought, but not enough Ravagers here to actually finish off really any of those units. Alright. Bruising the refinery as well for a little bit. Tunneling Claws is a follow-up. Nidus Worm inside of the back of the main base. I feel like this aggression has been done for a little while already. But I can't... apparently Bly thinks otherwise. Anyways, Tunneling Claws coming up. Clem just trying to not die to stupid stuff, which is one of the main jobs of a Terran in these kind of scenarios, right? Once you learn how to not die to stupid stuff, you usually are in a good spot. I guess Changelings are more effective when the game is super fast. I'm a Marine too, I promise. Anyways. Roaches now have their Tunneling Claws upgrade. Scanner right there actually also reveals this though for Clem. Clem at this point knows exactly what it is he's going up against. Already, yeah, I love it. He noticed the spikes there, so he starts up a couple of missile turrets. Apparently there was a little fight over here in the center of the map as well. Bly really hasn't added on a whole lot of drones this game. Love the addition right here as well of the Liberators. I guess you can still try and burrow in the direction here of all of these Siege Tanks and pick them off, yeah. Anyways, the Liberators will reposition here, but I don't think there's enough right now, right? For the Zerg. I mean, it's triple Terran, or like triple base Terran versus double base Zerg, and that's never really a situation you want to be in, especially when it's just like, you know, Roach Ravager unupgraded and stuff. I don't like it. Okay. Good set of biles there. Here's the reinforcing Terran units going straight into the main base, it seems. A little bit of multitasking, I kind of dig it. Okay. I guess he's gonna try and overwhelm one of those locations. I don't know if I agree with Clem splitting up his units, but it turns out it was the right call here, because at this point Clem is more than doubling his opponent's supply, which is pretty good. Yeah. Almost saw a group of medevacs there going down, but corrosive balls just barely didn't connect. All right. So, next up we are on Blackburn. Match point right here for Clem. Obviously in a best of 5, it is the first player to win 3 maps who will obtain the victory. This is a map as well with golden bases, obviously. So, Bly could try and grab those. He's already droned up to 17 though, so I don't think that's gonna happen. Nah. I think he's just gonna go for a good old low ground expansion instead. What are we gonna do, Mr. Clem? Okay. SCV Scout will be moving across the map once again. I mean, I feel like even in a Battlecruiser game, Clem probably intended on making only like 1 or 2 of those. But since his opponent played a little bit crazy, he decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and counter those Mutalisks with Battlecruisers. Didn't really work out so well. Anyways, I'm pretty sure action is mostly on Bly here, right? Like, Bly's definitely capable of playing a standard, straightforward macro game, but I'm clearly favoring Mr. Clem if this is a normal, straightforward macro game. The Overlord doesn't want to die, man. Jimmy, don't do it! Second Marine is coming up. Go! You gotta go. No, too late. Guess Bly was doing other things in the half second or so that he had to respond to that. I know, crazy. Not even prioritizing the Overlord. He needs to start up a new one, though. Yeah, he's actually hitting a supply block now. Queen's trying to build. Ugh. Now finally the Ovies come up, but that is a long supply block. Anyways, Lara's coming up here as well. Kind of cool to see a professional Zerg player getting supply blocked at 36 out of 36 as well. That is the classical supply block that pretty much everyone... Well, I guess... Well, maybe not Cero, but pretty much everyone else hits the 36 out of 36 supply block from time to time. Anyways, very quick Laria once again, though. What are we doing this time around from Bly? Or what can we expect this time around from Bly? Okay, we're once again gonna go into the Mutalisks. This is what I mean when I talk about stumbling over my words. Breathe, Lowko. Calm down. I wonder if that means that if, like, the game would go at half speed, would I start talking slower? Would it sound like I've been drinking the entire day? I wonder. Maybe that's why golf commentators, like, this is a relatively slow sport, right? Maybe that's why golf commentators are, like, so chilled. Oh my god, do you think that has... I wonder if the pacing of the game has to do with how fast people commentate games as well. That's kind of interesting, actually. Chess commentators don't go, and he's moving the rook towards h8! Like, that's... that's not what chess commentators do, right? Although I would definitely watch more, I think, if that is what they did. Anyways. There you go, food for thought. Jimmy and the crew, though, ready to go across the map. They stumbled upon a couple of Mutalisks. Baneling speed is about 80% of the way done. The last 20% are really nice and speedily in this mod, so that's something. Oh god. I guess splitting against Banelings is much harder, actually. Yeah, you don't even really need Baneling speed. He's gonna finish up soon enough. Actually, very impressive there from Clem. How in the world did that still work out reasonably well for him? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, that's so hard. Clem, obviously one of the best micro players in the world, but... Oh, God. It's pretty much impossible, right? Widow Mines? Okay. I guess they're gonna burrow over here. Yep. Ooh. Could have sworn we would have seen all of those Zerg units die, but in the end, good control right there from Bly. Splitting off the correct unit. He did finish the gold base eventually, but I guess we're going for a Bane buzz now. Roll, roll, roll the Banes gently up their base. Roll them into the mineral line. Destroy the Terran's eco. Very nice. Oh, God. The Mutas are actually dealing a lot of damage there as well to the Medivacs. If you could kill the Medivacs, that would be huge, but I think they're within the safety right there of the missile turrets for now. Still, though, good situation for Bly, all things considered. Yeah, the golden minerals here are gotta be nice and juicy, so rather than droning up the third base, decided to transfer those workers towards the gold, which makes a lot of sense. Oh god. Clem has got such quick reaction times normally, but like it feels like he is playing, you know, much slower, right? I guess, yeah, it makes sense that Bly is good in these kind of maps, right? Or in these kind of mods. It's not too surprising, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Anyways. Clem does still have a pretty good amount of stuff, though. No third command center, so I guess this is a double CC all-in. Obviously, with good Widowmine hits, it can still change very quickly, but I mean, it's 2-base Terran versus 4-base Zerg. Shouldn't be a very good position as well. Now, luckily here for the Terran, though, Bly is making it easier for him by moving off creep. Good guy, Bly. Giving the Terran player, yeah, good chances to get some better trades and some better connections in. But I think at this point, it might just be a numbers game. Oh, God. Here we go again. Roll, roll, roll the Banes. Alright. A lot of damage here being done by those Mutalisks. And actually, the Mutaling Bane openers are working out surprisingly well. Yeah. Contamination even being used right there on the barracks. Somehow, some way, Bly had the APM to go ahead and do so. I don't know how that happened. You'd imagine that when you have 1,500 minerals in the bank and 700 gas, you have something better to do than contaminating your opponent's barracks, but... he did it for style points. There you go. GG. Okay, so our final game for today will be on Hardwire. It's actually very hard to say who's going to win this. I'm really not sure. It depends, I guess, on how aggressive Bly is going to be with roaches. Because so far, that hasn't really worked out too well for him. Wouldn't be surprised at all if he's once again going to go into that good old Mutaling Bane style. So far, at the very least, he seems to be getting a lot of success with that. Mostly because, I guess, Banelings are just way more effective, right? When the opponent can't really micro against them very well. Look at this, by the way, Hero Marine. A cleaning bot. It's safe. Look, you don't have to kill it. Good guy, Clem. Not killing the little room bus. I think there might be another one over there, too. Anyways. Oh, we're going straight into the reactor once again. Can we see that crazy animation again on the reactor? Yeah, there it is. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that thing. Ay, ay, ay. Crazy dance moves on the reactor building. Command center on the low ground, though. Straight into the reactor build is something we've seen quite a bit recently. A lot of the highly ranked Terran players like to go ahead and introduce that into their games again. Alright. So he did leave the drones in the gas geyser, by the way. What about just like... excuse me. What about just like a Baneling bust? That is an option you have when you go for... He could just... Okay, no, we're going straight into the lair. I was wondering, just a regular good old Baneling bust. How would that work out? I don't think it would even be too awful, but... Like, it's going to be very hard for the Terran player to get good splits in, right? And that's usually... Oh, God. Why do we attack the own Hellion there? Anyways, that's usually the way in which the Terran players defend against such build orders. Just micro better. Oh, God. Careful now, Clem. You can't afford to lose any of those units. One of the Hellions attacked by the Terran, the other Hellion attacked by the Zerg. Don't know if I like this Zergling sacrifice all too much, though. Anyways. Lair's already done. Extra gases are being taken, and there's once again the Spire. I think that makes a lot of sense. Armory build, though, coming up here from Clem, so he's going to be building a bunch of Hellbets. I think he probably assumes as well that this is going to be a Muta transition here from Bly. So, obviously, when you go for Mutas, you generally speaking don't also add on a Roach Warren, and you probably don't have a Baneling Nest nearly as quickly either. So Hellbets are going to be very effective, although he only has a couple of Hellions because, well, unforeseen circumstances from earlier. Queens alone are going to be pretty strong already, to be honest. Anyways, so Spire is going to finish up soon. How many Mutas can we actually produce once the Overlords are done? I don't know. About 6, probably. Zerglings over here inside of the mineral line as well, dealing a lot of damage. One of the Hellions immediately getting surrounded once again. And once again, Chrono boosting out my commentary really quickly. Won't go times 2 speed. Anyways. Yeah, 5 Mutas are coming up here. That was a decent amount of damage that the Zerg player just managed to do. Yeah, 9 workers actually at this point is quite a lot. Okay, so what started off as a pretty sweet game here for the Zerg, or for the Terran player rather, is becoming a lot more Zerg favored. Okay, Mutas have shown up at the 3-minute mark. Although I guess we don't really know what the timing actually is like. Zerglings now at the same time over here too, and the reason for that is because Clem is over on the other side of the map. All that Bly needs to do is hold on, and he manages to do so. There we go. So apparently Bly ends up winning in the ×2 speed mod.